Thanks for joining me in this next part of the series that is going into some practices that I learned many years ago that have been really transformative in the way that I have learned how to communicate, especially through difficult conversations and problems for which there seem like there is no solution. And we're focusing in on the work of Monica Sharma, who is one of my teachers and whose work is just so impactful and amazing and has been transformative in resolving very difficult situations around the world. One of the exercises that we did together that I wanted to share with you all is called background conversations and listening. And so the idea with this is that when we're taking in information, when we're listening to others, we can have background conversations that are happening in our mind that are interpreting what that person is saying, so that we're not actually hearing what they're saying. Instead, we are hearing our interpretation of what they're saying. There are 7 types of background conversations that we're going to look into. One of them is right or wrong, just having the judgment of whatever this person is saying is right or wrong, and holding that with you as you listen or don't listen to what they're actually saying. Agree or disagree. So as a person is speaking, making a judgment about agreement or disagreement without actually listening to what the person is saying. Finding the flaw. So that is, as you're listening to another person, trying to find the problem, or the logical issue, or some kind of a mistake in what they're saying. Not responsible, which is, as I'm hearing someone bring me a problem, I am saying that basically in my mind, I'm not responsible for this. Like, this isn't my problem. And so discounting what the person is saying because it's not something that you're going to deal with. Us versus them, which shows up when you either are siding with the person and what they are saying because you feel like you belong to the same group as they do, or siding against them because you feel like you belong to the other group from theirs. And this othering is something that really fractures our society. Either or, when you're listening to someone, having a judgment that either what they're saying is true or something else is true, instead of approaching it from a both and perspective, which is that this person's can be saying something that is true for them, and I can be saying something that is true for me, and we can work with both of those things in order to move towards a solution. And then this is a big one, which is not enough. In our world, I heard someone recently refer to this as like the huge lie, which is that there isn't enough of anything for people or for individual people, right? There's not this lie of not enoughness, that a person is not enough, that there's not enough money for a project, or for, there aren't enough resources available to do a thing. And it's just not true. There are plenty of resources. We just have to figure out how to distribute them in the most equitable and sustainable way, and to channel them in a way that is regenerative and renewing rather than a way that is extracting. Because if we extract and extract, then of course there will never be enough, because you can't have a system that extracts forever and have it continue. It'll end at some point. The exercise that we did around background conversations and listening was with a partner, and each partner thought of something that was really, that they were really proud of, and they spent 1 minute talking about that thing that they were really proud of, and the other partner just listened. They were just quiet, and they just fully listened to what the other person was saying. And then they switched. And then in the second part, the partner who was supposed to be listening wasn't listening. They were like on their phone, or they were looking around, or they were like searching through their bag or whatever. And we reflected on the difference, like how it felt to have someone who was fully paying attention and listening and not speaking at all, and then someone who was totally distracted when we were speaking. And not surprisingly, we felt very connected to the person who listened, who didn't interrupt at all and just heard what we had to say. and we felt very disconnected from the person who was talking and distracted and not paying attention. And so this is one foundation of working through difficult situations, is the exercise of listening fully, not interrupting the other person, allowing them plenty of time and space to express themselves, and asking, instead of questions to like dig for information or questions to lead the person, just questions to clarify your understanding of what happened. I'll share with you guys one of the resources from this training that describes in more detail the different types of background conversations. And I would invite you to, tell me what you think about this. Tell me if this has come up and if this resonates with you or not. And if it doesn't, then why not?